Pot Chef Show. My name is David and I am the One Pot Chef. On today's episode we're going to do something quick and simple which will cure those boring lunch boxes. This is miniature egg and bacon pies. Now these are special simply because they're the cheaters version. They're actually pies that are made without pastry. Now what I'm using instead of pastry is something that you'll always have in the house: humble loaf of bread. So basically what we do is that we take out a slice of bread. You can use pretty much any kind. This is white bread, but if you sort of want to use brown bread, multigrain, whatever you like, whichever you want. You take your white bread and you basically just cut your crusts off, like so. Oh dear, bucket that one up a bit. So we just cut our crusts off, and we don't need them, so you can cut them out. And just gently pat it a little bit like that, just to sort of soften it a little. Now what we're going to do is, these are little silicone cases. Now I'm using these because I haven't got my muffin pan at the moment. Someone who shall remain nameless has stolen it. You know who you are, I'm coming for you. If you are using a muffin pan, I strongly recommend you use some paper muffin cases, simply because these tend to stick a little bit even in a non-stick pan. But I'm using these just on a tray. These are great to get. You can get them in the supermarket for like $5, so it's well worth getting them. Basically what we do is we take our bread and we just press it in to the case like so, and you'll see there's little peaks on the top, so we just basically tear them off. If you're using a muffin pan, obviously use a knife, it might be easier, but just take those peaks off. And what we do is that you just use your thumb and you just go along the inside, pressing like that, just to sort of flatten it out. Don't do the bottom, just the sides. There's a couple more little raggy bits on top. Take the little raggy bits on top simply because they burn. Now you can see here there's a bit of a dip. If you just take one of the pieces that you took off there, stick it in and press it, it'll go into the wall of the pie there. That looks good. And there's another one just up here, so I'll just stick another one in that. There we go. And you've got something that looks a little bit like that. Now just do that for however many pies you're going to be doing. I've got my tray over here with one that I prepared earlier, and I'm just going to do the rest. So this is our finished cases. I've made 6 there. Now we're ready to start filling them. Now I cooked up some bacon and chopped it up just before, just because we've got limitations on time for the show, so I didn't bother showing you that bit. Basically we're just going to put a little bit of bacon into each of these cases. Not much, just enough to make it tasty. Oh dear. Excuse the fingers, but it's the easiest way to do it. Just even them up a bit. I've done a little too much, but whatever. Can go in there. That's looking good. In you go. Okay, so we've got our bacon in there. That looks good. Now we've got to put our egg mixture together. Now, depending on how many of these you're making, depends on how many eggs you're doing, and of course how big the cases are. I would say probably 3 or 4 eggs would do 6 these size. So we're going to start putting these together. Oh, I always have trouble doing these eggs. So we'll put 4 together. That sounds good, because these aren't huge eggs. Oh, get out, you vicious. That's better. That's one for the outtakes, right? 4. Okay. Just wash my hands. Breaking one of my cardinal rules, I'm using a tea towel to wipe my hands. Naughty. Okay, so with the fork, we're just going to break up those yolks and give them a bit of a beat. Beat. Okay, nothing too crazy. And we're just going to season it with some pepper. And I never find the hole on this thing. Salt. And a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. It's always good to have some of this. Lovely. Just a little, not much. And just give that a bit of a whiz around. Now this is just basically the bare bones recipe. That's good. This is just the basic bit. You can pretty much limitless imagination with this one. You can pretty much add anything you like. So you just pour a little of the egg mixture into each. Just a little. Might need a little bit more egg mixture actually, but actually I might have just fluked this quite well. I've actually done this perfect, would you believe? Ha 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 ha! Just a little bit in that one maybe. Yeah. How's that? 4 eggs for 6 muffins, that's perfect. Woo! Excellent. Okay, so they're ready to go into the oven. This is just your basic. If you want it to be creative, you can add cheese on top, but basically put them in the oven as is like this. And once they're cooked, you can add your grated cheese on top and then put them under the grill for a few minutes. It's much easier that way. That way your egg is definitely cooked. And yeah, these are great served hot, but basically these are designed so you can actually serve them cold. That way you can serve them as a lunch thing with a bit of a side salad. You can put them in lunch boxes. Kids love these. Pretty much they're limited by your own imagination. You can do whatever you like with these. You can add a bit of baked beans to it. You can do without the egg and bacon. You can actually do leftover mince into it, top it with some mashed potato, and you've got mini shepherd's pies. Anything you like. So we'll pop these into the oven, and then I'll show you the finished result. There we go, and here they are. Now these were in the oven for about 20 minutes at 160 degrees, but obviously adjust for your oven because obviously each oven's different. Now let them sit out of the oven for about 5 minutes because they continue to cook slightly after you take them out. Now all you've got to do, this is what's great about these silicone cases, is they just pop out. And there we are. And don't they look delicious? I added a little herb mix on top just for a bit of decoration, and it adds a little bit of flavour. And look lovely. Oops, pop it out. And there we go. Just go over here. And there's the finished result. Easy ham and bacon, well bacon and egg, sorry. Easy bacon and egg pies made without pastry. Great for the lunchbox and easy to throw together.